Did you know that the war in Russia and Ukraine could possibly affect your aircraft insurance rates? How is this possible? Well, it's Caleb here from Air 101, and I'm going to be taking you today on a very special journey to London, UK to find some answers.
Nothing to hold me back, take my time, just enjoy the ride. I know man, passing by, life is good, best I've ever felt.
At Air One Insurance, as aviation insurance brokers, we often like to go to London, UK to meet with different insurance companies and see what is going on in the aviation insurance market. But why do we need to travel all the way to London? Why not just meet with the aviation insurance companies in Canada? One of the main reasons is this. Almost all aviation insurance companies are based out of London and have their head office there. And by going there, it helps us, so to speak, keep our finger on the pulse in this aviation insurance industry. So to start us off, you probably heard of Lloyds of London before. Well, insurance has been done with Lloyds of London for well over 300 years, and it basically goes like this. Great Fire of London happened in 1666. 80 coffee shops remained that didn't get burnt down. People did business at these coffee shops. One shop was called Edward Lloyd's Coffee House. He rented out boxes or tables to businessmen who sold insurance to ship owners. Now fast forward 300 years later, Lloyds of London is still in business. Business is done essentially the same way. There is a building where it has different boxes where underwriters manage different Lloyds syndicates. These underwriters are given underwriting guidelines so that they can either accept or decline writing a risk that is sent to them. In the past, brokers would go and meet with different underwriters in these boxes to try and find insurance for certain risks. But now a lot of this is done electronically. But in saying that, we are in a relationship-based business, so it is important that we meet up in person and chat about the current aviation insurance market conditions. Lloyds of London basically is a place that helps regulate and protect all parties, investors, the insurance companies, underwriters, and you as the client. Now, why am I explaining this all to you? You basically probably just want to know, are your aircraft insurance rates going to increase or not? Well, it's a little bit more complicated than just giving a simple answer. But the reason why you'd want to know what Lloyds of London is and how it basically works is some of these syndicates do aviation insurance, and they have accepted writing aircraft insurance for aircraft in Russia and Ukraine. They also have agreed to write what's called war coverage onto those aircraft insurance policies. Now, a lot of the aircraft that are in Russia are on lease contracts from companies outside of Russia. Some of these companies have their aircraft in Russia and cannot get them out and are putting in aircraft claims. They expect these Lloyds syndicates to pay out losses just because they cannot get their aircraft back. Also, other aircraft have actually been damaged, destroyed, or maintenance manuals have disappeared, which means it would be hard to get the aircraft back to being airworthy again. They estimate that the losses could potentially exceed $10 to $15 billion in aviation losses. Just to put that number in perspective, some have indicated that the September 9/11 aviation losses were roughly about $3 to $4 billion. Now please note, this is just a very rough indication of potential losses that I heard while I was over there. Well then, how does this affect you and your aircraft insurance rates? Some of these syndicates that insure the aircraft in Russia and Ukraine also do aircraft insurance in other parts of the world, such as in Canada and the US. So if they're losing money in one area, then they're going to have to try and make it back in another area. In saying all of this, the aviation insurance market at this very moment is quite stable. And this is for two reasons. Number one, we are just coming off a couple years of rate increases. And number two, the insurance companies also had to buy something called reinsurance to help protect them in the event of catastrophic losses like this situation in Russia and Ukraine. But the renewals for the insurance companies' reinsurance policies are usually only done once a year. So when those reinsurance rates are negotiated on their next policy term, then the insurance companies will have a better idea of how much rate increases they will have to give to make back enough money to pay for these losses. Now, not all aviation insurance companies were on the losses that happened in Russia and Ukraine. And this is why it's so important for us at Air One to keep up to date with all the aviation insurance companies and continue to travel to London. Because if one insurance company decides not to write aviation insurance anymore, we need to be able to find another market so that we can continue to get insurance for your aircraft. So we met with different insurance markets in London and traveled through France, Belgium, even as far as Holland. It was a long journey, just so that we can continue to participate in this amazing industry. But personally myself, I try to treat this like a professional, but at the same time also try to have fun with it and enjoy learning about all the ins and outs of aviation insurance worldwide. And that is why I wanted to bring you on my journey through Europe, so that you can also better understand the aviation insurance market. The insurance market that continues to help you and me and all of us pilots continue to do the thing that we love to do: fly aircraft. Now, is this Russia and Ukraine situation the only thing affecting aircraft insurance rates? Well, if you'd like to find out more about other factors that are continuing to increase rates in the aviation insurance industry, then you should watch this video where it talks about how you could possibly save money in this market while everyone else's aircraft rates continue to increase. Now, I really hope that you enjoyed this journey that I took you on over to London so that you as well can stay up to date with the aviation insurance market. Now, stay safe. Have fun flying your aircraft, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.